I know right now in America, we want to pick a side, left or right, Democrat, Republican, transgender, non-transgender, Jewish, Muslim. We all want to pick a side. But what if I told you that the greatest master who ever walked this earth, Christ Jesus, Jesus Christ, Yeshua, and all the greatest masters, all of your masters, all spoke about taking the middle ground? Why would they speak about the middle ground? And why, in the middle ground, versus force, versus power, is that where you develop the courage to understand that we are all made in the likeness and image? I just want to give you a different perspective. So I've gone through this radical transformation in my own life, and as I continue to go deeper through this spiritual walk, I see less and less separation. Now, what do I mean by that? Back in the days, 17 years ago, I focused on left, I focused on right. You were Catholic, you're Jehovah's Witness, you're Church of Latter-day Saints. I could see the separation. It was so deep. It was like a canyon. But as I started to tap in and tune in and take the middle ground internally, and I started to work on myself, I started to see the walls crumble around me. The walls of religion, the walls of color, race, everything. I couldn't see left, I couldn't see right, I couldn't see Jehovah's Witness, Church of Latter-day Saints, Catholic. What I saw is human beings having a physical experience. Being a human being is a hue of light. There's a certain hue of light that we see within this density. But when you start to tap in and tune in, it's all in the Bible. When you take no thought, you take the middle ground. Jesus said, if your eye be single, your body fills with light. And as your body fills with light, you start to see the light within others. What if that's what Jesus was teaching? Yeshua, Christ Jesus. What if he came back on a donkey and he was humbled, because a donkey represents humility, and he was like, whoa, wait a minute. All this Old Testament rules, separation, and he starts to go from village to village, and he picks the most unlikely people, just like me. And he wasn't telling me how great he is. He was showing me how great I am. And he says in his teachings that you're made in the likeness and image. And I started to really think about that stuff. And as I started to read the Bible as a living, breathing organism, all the walls of separation dropped. Now, I'm not talking about physical borders and illegal immigration. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a physical being having a human experience all here together on this earth. And if you take the word earth and you scramble it, it represents heart. And that goes even deeper. So if you scramble the word earth, which is the heart, the centrifuge of your heart, in the Sandra Mooney picture, Jesus has his finger pointing up, and he looks like a globe type thing. He says, be in the world, not of the world. And what's in between the globe and his finger? The heart. So if you come back to the center, the middle ground, not left, not right, the middle ground, which is your heart, which emits a frequency, you'll start to see that you are me and I am you. And I really believe that's the mark that we missed. Or maybe it was on purpose. I don't know how the game was developed. But what I do know is the more I tap in and I tune in, and as I look at you through this camera, I see in you what I have in me. And what I don't like in you is what I need to work on in me. And I see a mirror. And if I saw God face to face, man, I would be humbled. So what if God is us experiencing imperfection? What if? What if we just took that as a concept? What if we are God experiencing imperfection? If I saw God face to face, I would be humbled. I would come back on a donkey. And I would work to talk to as many people as possible. And I would tell them how great they are and how amazing they are, and that they can, they will, and they're able to. And I would point out the great I am in them, and I would tell them, hey, change your words because thoughts become things. And I would start to encourage them and lift them up. But most of all, I would make sure that I'd be a shining example of what unconditional love is, what gratitude is, knowing that we are made in the likeness and image. And I know we're going to war for our religions. I know that we're battling over left and right. But what if, for just a moment, we put down the left, we put down the right, and we got back to the heart, back to the earth, scrambled, which is heart, and we got back to knowing that just like the sun gives nutrients to the earth, that the Father is going to give nutrients to you. You have everything you need, my brother. You have everything you need, my sister. So all I want to tell you is I love you. I choose to drop all the separation, and I choose to see you as God experiencing imperfection.